From Washington, this is VOA News. I'm Susan Yackee reporting. Typhoon Koppu hits the Philippines. Koppu, a powerful, slow-moving typhoon, hit the northern Philippines early today, downing power and communication lines with powerful winds and rains that could last until Wednesday, a day later than originally forecast. Weather forecasters say Koppu will remain over the island of Luzon for several days due to a high-pressure area in the north and another typhoon in the northwest Pacific. Forecasters predict the storm could dump 600 millimeters of rain over the next several days. Authorities have canceled flights, and local officials have conducted forced evacuations of coastal areas and riverbanks known to be hit by floods. The ongoing violence between Israelis and Palestinians is likely to top the agenda of an Israeli cabinet meeting today. Some of the latest violence between Palestinian teenagers and Israeli police has resulted in the killing of 4 Palestinians and the wounding of a 5th in both the occupied West Bank and Jerusalem. Authorities said several Israeli security personnel were wounded. Robert Berger has more on the story from Jerusalem.
Israeli troops fired tear gas at Palestinian protesters in the West Bank after several stabbing attacks. The violence erupted a month ago at the Mosque of Al-Aqsa in Jerusalem, the site Jews call the Temple Mount. Palestinians accuse Israel of trying to take over the Al-Aqsa compound. This Palestinian man on the street says the stabbings are a natural response to Israeli actions at Al-Aqsa. Israel categorically denies any attempt to change the status quo at the disputed holy place. Robert Berger for VOA News, Jerusalem.
Reporting to you from Washington, this is VOA News. Voting in a long-awaited election for a new parliament opened today in half of Egypt's provinces as the government works to complete a roadmap to democracy, implemented following the ouster of Mohamed Morsi as president. The first phase involves 14 provinces voting today and Monday, and the remaining areas going to polls in early December. Egyptians living abroad had the chance to vote on Saturday. Current leader Abdel Fattah el-Sisi led the effort in 2013 to topple Morsi, the country's first democratically elected president, that brought a military-backed interim government with the promise of a new constitution and elections for a new president and parliament. The United States has sent military equipment and a small contingent of troops to Cameroon to fight Boko Haram terrorism. Moki Edwin Kinseka reports from Yaoundé.
Among the military equipment being supplied by the United States is armored vehicles with a capacity to shelve bombs and detect land mines. Colonel Jean Jacques Fouda, in charge of Cameroon military equipment, did not disclose the total contents of the material, but says the armored vehicles are some of the best Cameroon has ever had.
This car protect the soldiers to do patrol mission, long range, fight against mines.
Within the past several months, Boko Haram militants have resorted to using suicide bombers and planting mines on Cameroon's northern border with Nigeria as strongholds of the insurgents. Cameroon has lost more than 100 civilians in the suicide bomb attacks. Moki Edwin Kinzeka, Yaoundé.
United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon has called Europe's migrant and refugee situation a crisis of global solidarity. Mr. Ban visited a community shelter in Rome Saturday, where he met with refugees and their children.
Having met all these children and family members and women, I was very much sad, but I was also very much heartened by the stories and they told me. The stories were heartbreaking. At the same time, I really wanted to give them sense of hope.
Iran has rejected U.S. and French allegations that its recent long-range missile test violates United Nations resolutions, saying the Security Council restrictions only apply to missiles designed to carry nuclear warheads. Speaking Saturday in Tehran, Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif said none of the Islamic Republic of Iran's missiles have been designed for nuclear capabilities. Guinea's President Alpha Condé has won a second term. The country's election commission has announced 6 days after polling ended. Condé captured 58% of the votes cast, avoiding a runoff election with his main opposition leader. I'm Susan Yackee in Washington.
That's the latest world news from VOA.